Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Maths Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. So this is just a quick follow-up from the previous video. So now I said the first thing we talk about will be three common forms of algebraic fractions. Okay, let's get straight into it. So please make sure you look at it, the previous video before you are here. So the first form is the AB over A I talked about. So now in this form, what happens is that there's a common factor between the numerator and the denominator, and therefore you can cancel them out. So that means the elements in the numerator. So basically, if you go back to the video where I talked about fractions, I told you that fractions are in the form of A over B or something like this, where the top one is called the numerator and the bottom one is called the what? The denominator. Okay? So that's the same thing I just explained. So now, but in this form of algebraic fractions, the numerator, so that means the one above the division sign, the elements are being multiplied together. Is that okay? But what is interesting is that there's a common factor between the numerator and the denominator, and the elements are multiplied. So because of that, because A is multiplying B divided by A, you can just cancel these out, and that will give you what? B. Remember, this only happens because the elements are multiplying what? Each other. Okay, so let's pick an example. 5x divided by 5. That's going to give you, this is going to cancel that out, and that will give you x. Is that making sense? We have 10x divided by 2. Okay, you can say this thing based on factors. It's saying as saying 2 times 5 times x all over 2. Are you seeing it? This will cancel this out, and that will give you what? 5x. Now, remember I said this only applies to a single fraction where all the components we're talking about are multiplying each other. Now, but this is not going to be the case when you have A plus B divided by A. Now, unlike the first form where we have them multiplying each other, now the second form here is that both of them are being added together. So you cannot, so please, you cannot say it's going to be this divided by this. No, because it is not being multiplied. If it was A times B, then it works. But when it's being added or it's being subtracted, you cannot do it. So this is going to be a wrong way to solve it. So what you then do, let me clean this out, is that what you can do is that you can now either leave the answer like that, all right, or you're trying to simplify it further by breaking it into smaller bits if you want to. So that means you can now rewrite this as A over A plus B over A. Now you can cancel this one here. This will cancel this to give you what? 1 plus B over A. Is that making sense? So in some cases, you can leave your answer like this, but if you want to further simplify it, it will be 1 over B plus B over A, 1 plus B over A. So please, what I'm trying to emphasize here is that you cannot cancel the numbers out directly. So let's say we have an example. We have 5x plus 3 divided by 5. Okay, so what would this give you? It's going to become 5x over 5 plus 3 over 5. Then we can cancel this out, and our final answer is going to give us x plus 3 over what? 5. Okay, x plus 3 over 5. So like I said, it's very important to know if it's being multiplied by each other, then you divide. All right, but if it's being added, you have to break it into smaller fractions. All right, or you can leave the answer like that. So we'll go to the third one now. So the last two we talked about if it's A, B over A, and we talked about if it's A plus B over A. All right. So what about if we have something like the third form that is usually A plus AB over A? Now, this component of the numerator, now you can see they're added together, but you also notice that A is a common factor to both the numerator and the denominator. All right. So in this place now, what we do, we're going to use the concept we had the last video. So we're gonna collect the like terms first. Remember common factors. So the common factors in the numerator is gonna become 1 plus what? B, all right, divided by A. Now we're gonna apply the first rule. Remember I told you if there's a multiplication sign, then you can what? Cancel them out. Okay, so since the components are now split into 2 that we can then multiply, so that means I can rewrite this again as A multiplied by 1 plus B over A. So this is going to cancel this out, and that will give me 1 plus what? B. Okay, so you can see in this form of algebraic fractions, we are combining, let's say we're combining different concepts here. So let's say we have an example. We have 5 plus 5x divided by 5. Are you seeing it? Then we can see that the common factor in the numerator is 5. So we have 1 plus x divided by 5. This 5 can then cancel this 5, and our answer is going to become 1 plus x. And that is the answer we'll get for that. All right, and that will bring me to the end for this video for the 3 or the forms of algebraic fractions. So we talked about the forms of them. It could be in the form of AB over A. It could be in the form of A plus B over A, or it could also be in the form of A plus AB over A. So we're going to go to the next concept in simplifying algebraic fraction. We're going to see how we're going to multiply and divide algebraic fraction. All right. So like I usually say, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow the channel. Please click the notification bell. So when I upload new videos, you just get a notification on your phone and you can quickly go back and have a look. All right. So I'm going to see you in the next video on how we multiply and how do we divide algebraic fractions.